Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss all the differences between the conscious and the subconscious brain. I am your friend Rajesh here. I am your memory trainer and NLP coach. Friends, if you are looking out for more videos from my institute, from my channel, I request you to please subscribe to my channel in our Institute for Brain Skills so that you are the first one to receive the videos. Friends, here in our day in and day out life, you would have heard a lot about conscious brain, being very attentive, listening to something very consciously, and also about the subconscious brain and so on. Right? Now, in this video, we are going a little more in depth on what exactly is this conscious brain, what is its working structure, and what exactly is its subconscious brain and what is its working structure. Now, friends, you are listening to me. When you are listening to me, somewhere there would be some of the voice which might be ringing in your mind. Yes. Friends, you are seeing me. As you are seeing me, you can still remember the color of your fridge at your home. Right? But you are seeing me consciously. You are listening to me consciously. Where is there something which is acting at the backside of you in order to give you the color of your fridge? In order to get some voice or listen to some music? Right? Now you have the feel of the temperature right now. You know the climate you are in now, isn't it? But suddenly, if I just ask you, just imagine a big snake in front of you. Wouldn't you be scared? Yes, we are. But the snake is just an imagination. It has nothing to do with the reality here. But still, yes, the frightened moment was there. The muscles were shaking and we had tightness in our muscles and goosebumps came out. So many things happened. So who is that who is acting just beyond us? Is there something else which is also acting together with whatever we are doing consciously? Friends, yes, having said about this, let's do one thing. As I said, we are doing everything consciously. You're listening to me, you're walking, we are sitting, we are eating. So many things, innumerable. But then, who is controlling our breath? Who is taking care of our heartbeat? Who is taking care of our eye blinks? Isn't it? We are not even aware of them. We are so unconscious. We don't even know how many breaths we take in a minute. We are not bothered of our heartbeat, right? Then, don't you think there is one giant power which is actually helping us for our day-to-day lives? And that giant power is there right from the birth till the last breath of our life. So now I discussed you about two scenarios. Scenario 1, where I said there are some images which are coming unconsciously, though we are working consciously, isn't it? Without our permission, they are coming in and they are representing for us and trying to actually grab our attention also. The vital functions of our body, like digestion, like excretion, eye blinks, your heartbeat, your lung functioning, everything is not even asking our permission. Right? And they're there right from the time we were in the womb of our mother. And they will be there till the last breath. Now let's go for scenario 3. Friends, we have learned cycling, we have learned swimming, we have learned car driving, so many things. Now, maybe if we give you some 10 years of gap also, after that if I just ask you to drive, there are many tasks in our day-to-day life. For example, it's as simple as brushing our teeth. It's as simple as taking the food and putting it in the mouth. It is as simple as riding a cycle, driving a car, isn't it? Friends, when we have learned, I know we have learned them consciously. Now, when we are driving the car, yes, we are also listening to the music. We are also speaking over the phones and driving the car. Right? So, our attention is not required, but still we know where to apply the brakes, where to increase the accelerator. How is this when we are on one work? Why are we still parallelly able to do same efficiently with the other works also? Then yes, there is someone else who is there working for us day in and day out, 24 bar 7. Example is as simple as your lung capacity, the lung functioning, the heartbeats, and so many things. Isn't it? Fine. If that is the case, who is that person? What is the role? What is the difference it's doing in our life? Right, friends? So when I said, yes, consciously we are doing, it is nothing but the conscious brain which is working. When I said unconsciously, there are so many things which are happening, which are controlling our body functions, which are actually helping us to push our daily day-to-day lives, which are actually telling us you don't need to take care of your daily vital functions of your body. You just get on with the works that you have in your hand. Yes, that giant power is nothing but our subconscious brain. The conscious brain is called the logical brain. The conscious brain is called the left brain, whereas our subconscious brain is the illogical brain. It is our right brain. It is our unconscious brain. We call it with so many terms. Now we'll just see what are the types of the data the conscious brain is looking out for, and what's the kind of the data, what is the information that the subconscious brain would like to hold for, isn't it? School is a place for learning. We learn lot many things even before we enter into the schools, which are actually required for our day-to-day living. For example, walking, for example, eating, etc. Right? Now let's just see what we have learned when we entered into the school after our school journey started. It is just nothing but the languages, the pictures, the maths, science, formulas, equations, so on. Friends, if you just observe whatever we have learned, they have some rules. They are bounded within some rules frame. For example, let's take a language. It knows how to be pronounced. It knows what is that grammar, how to represent that, how to speak out that, like that. And maths derivations, math formulas, how do we derive, what is it, what is the background date, and so on. Isn't it? But then, when we just think of the emotions, when we think of the emotions, let's say crying or laughter, which we have not learned at school, which is imbibed within us, and we have learned it through the 5 senses of our body. Okay, I'm talking about the senses here. Specifically, I'm coming for the emotions part. Each one's emotions, the way they represent, the way they depict out, and the way they speak out are totally different. For a small incident, one person may be yelling out. For the same incident, the other person may be kind of very cool and calm. What is playing in? The emotions which are there. And who has learned that? There are no boundaries. That's what I meant to say, that there are no boundaries when we talk about the emotions. And now, let me take you to art. Do we have the boundaries for art? No. For music? No. If I take a spoon and make one sound, that becomes one note. If I make another sound, that becomes another music. And I can start building enormously in the music side, isn't it? Now, the same way, when we think of the logical brain, when we think of learning something which are within the rules, where are we learning? It is to our logic brain. It is to our conscious brain. We are learning something which we don't know using our conscious brain. Maybe predominantly using our auditory cells. But here when we think of the unconscious brain, if you think of the unconscious brain, it has no boundaries. And what senses of our brain have we used? This is nothing but our visuals, our auditory, our kinesthesia, which is nothing but the feelings, our taste, smell, and so on. Where is it stored? It is stored in our subconscious brain. And how would the information that we have learned, which are having some logic, which are defined within the boundaries, they are there in our conscious brain. So this is the difference between the data storage in the conscious brain and the subconscious brain. Now let's just think of where have we stored our childhood memories. They are nothing but in our conscious brain, because we felt the kinesthesia, we felt the emotions, and we saw everything in visuals, and we have used our muscles we have worked on them, and that's where the subconscious mind has stored it so powerfully. And it's the same thing with our marriage events, our family gatherings, where we have used our emotions. Now let's just think about a language learning or a maths learning. What have we used? Have we used the emotions? No, there are no emotions which are played there. Have we used our muscle power? No, the muscles we have not used. We have not used our body. It's only the hands that we have written. What is that predominantly we have used? We have heard the information and we just tried recalling that. Has it gone for permanent storage? It could not go. The reason is we have not used the five senses. So whichever the ones where we are using our five senses will be stored permanently in the subconscious brain, and it will be there with the permanent storage, and recalling is much faster and retaining is 10 times more bigger, 10 times more easier when compared to our conscious learning, our conscious retention. Now, in our next video series, what I'll do, I will give you the difference of memory storage both in conscious brain and in subconscious brain. We will see which is a bigger one, which is a smaller one, how are we going to store, what is the role, and how are we going to transfer information from one brain to another brain. Thank you. Stay tuned. Please subscribe to my channel.